In this session, I am going to discuss about vapor pressure concept and also Raoult's law. Vapor pressure of liquid solutions. In liquid solutions, solvent is in a liquid state. The solute can be a gas, a liquid, or a solid. Generally, the liquid is volatile in nature here. The solute may or may not be volatile. In your syllabus, we discuss, as per your syllabus, we discuss only the binary solutions, that is liquid in liquid and solid in liquid solutions. Let us know what do you know by vapor pressure. The pressure exerted by the vapors of the liquid above the liquid surface at constant temperature when the vapors are in equilibrium with the liquid. Okay, let us know the statement of Raoult's law. In a solution of two volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure of each component of the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction present in the solution. That means, in case of solution of two volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure of each component is directly proportional to its mole fraction. This is the statement of Raoult's law. According to Raoult's law, P1 is directly proportional to X1. That is, partial vapor pressure of component 1 is directly proportional to mole fraction of component 1, that is X1. Similarly, partial vapor pressure of component 2 is directly proportional to mole fraction of component 2. That can be written as P2 is equal to P2 naught into X2. Here P1 naught and P2 naught are the vapor pressures of components 1 and 2 respectively in their pure states, and P1 and P2 are the partial pressures of the components 1 and 2 from the solutions. X1 and X2 are the mole fractions of the components 1 and 2 in the solution. According to Dalton's law of partial pressures, the total pressure over the solution will be the sum of the partial pressures of the components of the solution. Hence, total vapor pressure of the solution, that is P total, is equal to P1 plus P2. P1 is the partial vapor pressure of component 1 and P2 is the partial vapor pressure of the component 2, which is equal to P1 naught into X1 plus P2 naught into X2. P1 naught into X1 can be written as 1 minus X2 because the sum of X1 plus X2 is equal to 1, plus P2 naught into X2, which is equal to P1 naught minus P1 naught into X2 plus P2 naught into X2. Finally, this will be equal to P1 naught plus X2 into P2 naught minus P1 naught. Okay, let us differentiate between Henry's law and Raoult's law. Henry's law is applicable for the solution of a gas in a liquid, but Raoult's law is applicable for the solution of a liquid in a liquid. The partial pressure of the gas is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. This is the statement of Henry's law. But the statement of Raoult's law is the partial pressure of the volatile component is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. Expression for Henry's law is small p is equal to kh into x. Expression for Raoult's law is pi is equal to xi into pi naught. In case of Henry's law, kh is Henry's law constant. In case of Raoult's law, pi naught is the vapor pressure of the pure component I, which is a constant. Raoult's law becomes a special case of Henry's law in which Kh becomes equal to P1 naught. This is a graph where the vapor pressure versus mole fraction of solvent is plotted. Here we will get a linear graph. That means as the mole fraction of solvent increases, the vapor pressure of the solvent also increases. At constant temperature, the vapor pressure of the solution is lower than the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. Give reason. This is because solute particles in the solution prevent the escaping tendency of solvent molecules to get vaporized. Hence, the vapor pressure of the solution is lower than the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. That means the presence of solute particles hinders the escaping nature of solvent molecules to get vaporized. Hence, the vapor pressure of the solution is always lower than the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. This is a picture where you can see in case of pure solvent there will be maximum evaporation of solvent and hence the vapor pressure will be high, but in case of solution there will be presence of both solute and solvent particles at the surface. So solute particles hinder the evaporation of solvent molecules, hence the vapor pressure of the solution becomes low. If a non-volatile solute is added to a solution, the vapor pressure of the solvent decreases. Give reason. If a non-volatile solute is added to a solution, the number of solvent molecules escaping from the surface of the solution is reduced. Hence, the vapor pressure of the solvent decreases. The decrease in the vapor pressure of the solvent depends on the quantity of non-volatile solute present in the solution, but not on its nature. For example, decrease in the vapor pressure of water by adding 1 mole of sucrose to 1 kg of water is nearly same as that produced by adding 1 mole of urea to the same quantity of water at the same temperature. Here, if you observe carefully, the amount of solute added is same. That is, sucrose you are adding 1 mole and urea is also of 1 mole. And hence, the vapor pressure of solvent depends on the quantity of non-volatile solute but not on the nature. Even though the solutes are different, sucrose and urea, the decrease in the vapor pressure produced is same.